Okay, here I'll be teaching my friend uh, Mohsin how to basically about a bit about SQL Server. So we have SQL Server here. We're just creating a table here. I'll go more into that here, and basically what you call it. And here we have an Excel, which you give an example of what a SQL table is. So yeah, so basically, Mohsin Bhai, so what we are doing here, so basically, I'm giving you an introduction to SQL. Okay, so the
Right.
first thing you need to do, okay, is that this is SQL Server. Okay, you can download it here on SQL Server. If you type in here SQL Server Management Studio, then you can download SQL Server Management Studio here, and basically, yeah, you can download it here. Okay, then once you install it, then you get this SQL Server database. Okay, so what you call it, I'll create a connection for you again. So if we click on what you call it, SQL Server, we have the server name we connect, and then we have the authentication and the ways we want to authenticate. Okay, we can use a service account, we can connect with Active Directory, and so on and so on. But in this case, I'll be just doing Windows authentication. Okay, so yeah, this is my server name. This is my local desktop. This is my local database, and I'm connecting. Okay, so we have our security. This is the main thing here is the security and the database. Security, we create accounts, we log in, and we can go from there. Okay, so if we wanted to create a new login, we can create a username here. We'll create a SQL Server account. So we can call this here SVC underscore SVC underscore. We can give it a database name if SVC underscore what you call it employee DB or something like that. Employee DB. Okay. So sorry, I won't say employee DB, but the name of your database, or you can call it what you call it. If you're working for a company, say Microsoft, so you can call it Microsoft DB or something like that. Okay, and you can create your service account, and you can give permissions to your service account from there. Okay, so you see your roles of the service account, and which database it needs to be mapped to, and so on and so on. Okay, so this is a database that I've created. Okay, so one example I was showing Mohsin by here, which I'll delete here. Okay, so basically this is my local database. So first thing we're going to do, Mohsin Bhai,
Mm-hmm.
is we're going to create a new database. Okay, so we go File, New Database, and we can call this, for example, uh, let's just call this uh, Test DB. All right, Test DB. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So we have our test database here. All right. And then what we do is the first thing you see here, you have tables, you have views, you have programmability, you have all these other ones as well. But the main thing you've got to concern is the tables, the views, the programmability, and the security. Okay, usually these ones here I don't usually use, but you start off with creating a table. Okay, so I just want to show you this Excel. Okay, the Excel we have a first name, last name, phone, address, postcode column. Okay, and here we have, for example, the names of the users. We can add more names. We can call this here Donald Trump, right? And what we can do is we can add more records to here, and so on. So the address, we'll just say here 50 Phillips Street. Okay,
Okay.
and we go from there. Okay, and we can add the postcode 2000 or 4000, whatever. Okay.
Okay.
Um, I was showing here before, Mohsin Bhai, that postcode, if we put in a text value like hello, this is not a valid postcode, right? Only integers can go in the postcode. Okay, so basically, by logic, we should only create the data type called in the postcode integer. Okay, all right. So what we'll do, picture a database table as this Excel sheet. Okay, that's the best way I can explain it. Okay, so here we have tables, right? We're gonna implement this table into the test DB here, into the test. We're gonna create a table using this details here. Okay, so if we go here, right click table, we'll create an employee table. Okay, one thing the employee table would not have is one thing the Excel sheet would not have is there'll be a primary there'll be a key called for example employee ID or customer ID. You know, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a customer ID. Okay, that's so your customer here, one customer is Murtaza, one customer is here Mohsin, one customer is Donald Trump. Okay, so the reason why I'll show you why we create a custom ID. First of all, we declare the data type. Okay, so here we have a whole bunch of data types. So as explained before, like if you have a postcode, you'll probably have an integer data type. With customer ID, you also have an integer data type. With first name, you would have like a string. String is they say envar and this here 50 is this is identifying that only 50 characters, a maximum of 50 characters, can go into this column. Okay, so where Excel, you can add unlimited characters. You can add like a whole bunch of characters, right? If you want, okay. But if you specify 50 limit here, then the first name can only have 50 characters. Okay. All right. So we got first name, we got last name, we have here. So what else do we have? We have phone. All right, phone. Phone. I've given a text value instead of a integer because you can use the word plus, plus, plus 61, plus 91, plus 92. So that plus, and you can use space. If you give it an integer, then you can't add space. Right? So it's better to give it a string value in varchar 20 maximum in the phone number. You have 20 characters, right? Then you have your address. Okay, so you have your address, and obviously your address needs to have a lot of characters. I recommend that you have at least 400 maximum text, right? Because the address can be long. And then you have your postcode, right? For example, and your postcode could be integer. Okay, usually there is no other value in a postcode besides an integer. You right click and you save. Now this custom ID can be a primary key, but I wanted to show you before we make this a primary key and increment. Okay, so let's save this. We save this table and we call this here customer or customers. Okay, now what we do here is we close this, we refresh this, and we have customer table. All right, now now what we can do is if we edit, we see we can add records here. Okay, so in this case we'll add um, uh, in this case we'll add Mutaza, we'll add Hassan, we'll add phone. All right, we'll add address. All right, and we'll add postcode 4000. Right, 4000. All right, and it created a record for us. Okay, one thing you see, the customer ID column is blank, and we could give it an ID of say like 1. Okay, and then it'll create a customer ID column here. Okay, but this one, this ID 1 is to identify that this record, the name of the ID, the record value of this table has a customer ID called 1. So we can query that later if we want to. All right. But the thing is, we manually added the 1 here. Okay. So if you wanted to go we'll go back to our design of the database table. We right click, we set this as a primary key. All right, this primary key means it's a unique identifier and it will be indexed, meaning like when you search, it'll be very you index users, like it helps with the searching. Okay, so if you so you have index, right, and then you have your, and then what you want to do, you want to increment what you call it, every time a new record is created, it creates a new ID for you automatically, incremented by 1. Okay, so here, well, let me show you. Let's save this. All right, so we've made this a primary key and we've incremented by 1. Okay, so let's close this and let's edit again. So let's add the next record. We have Mohsin. Okay, so we have Mohsin, Ali, we have phone number, we have the address, and we have a postcode. Now let's just say we added a postcode called here hello. Okay, it's gonna say an error. It doesn't like this text because we specified in postcode that it's an integer. You get it? So the postcode here has to be an integer.
Okay.
And you can see here, automatically it created the custom ID.
Okay.
All right. So let's start with these two records. Okay. So we right click here and we in the test DB and we create a new, what you call it, we create a new
Database.
query. All right.
Query. Okay.
The four main things you need to know about the SQL is you have a select query, you have an update query, you have a insert query, and you have a delete query. Okay.
What are these for?
All right. Let's start with the select. Okay. So we want to select everything. Okay, we're in the test DB database here, so just letting you know. Okay, so we're querying everything inside the test DB database. So select everything, all columns. This asterisk means all columns. Select everything from the table called customers. All right, this is our customers. All right, we execute it, and we see this is the select query. Okay, if we want to select just first name and last name, what we would do is we would go here and go here, first name, and we just want to select last name. So you only select these columns, just like here, right? You want to only see first name, last name. What you would do here, you just hide these columns. You'll hide these columns, right? And basically, what you call it, and then you only display first name and last name. All right, and then you can just go here and hide this. All right, just here you want to only see display first name and last name. Okay.
Okay.
But for now, we'll just display everything in the SQL. Okay, so we execute this, and we want to select all columns from the table customers. Okay, we have 2 records here. Now let's say we wanted to filter. The reason why we have custom ID is we can say here, well, where customer ID equals here 2. What record do you think we'll get from that? Mohsin Ali, right? We execute it and get 2. All right, this is your where filter. This is like a filter thing, right? Or you can go here first name. You can go here where first name equals to Mohsin. All right, you use these quotes. This is like a string value. You use the first name Mohsin, and we only get hold on, Mohsin with first name was Mohsin. Hold on, that's weird. Why didn't retrieve a record? Edit with first name equals him. Let's just say let's see if retrieve my data. Wait, hold on. The customer ID equals here 1. All right, retrieve my data.
Is it working on the basis of
But
the first row, first
well,
column?
if you wanted to retrieve, like, say, if you want to retrieve last name, we have last name equals here Hassan. Right? We execute this, and there we go. We have last name. I don't know why the first name was causing an issue, but the last name we have Hassan. So you can query this way as well. All right.
Okay.
Or you can say where last name equals he Ali. All right. And uh, hmm, last name equals he Ali. I don't know why this is not querying. It should query. So we have last name equals Ali. Yeah, for some reason it's not querying. That's weird. I don't know why it's not querying Ali. But if we go last name equals Hassan, it's executing. We can see here last name is Hassan. It's picking up Hassan, right? So okay, let's just say we wanted to show every name, first name that starts with M. All right, we would go here. We would go here with first name. Okay, like M.
Okay.
See if that works. No. Okay. Of course. Okay. Now if we add this, all right, this is a percentage. That means M. It starts with M. Anything after that. All right. There. So that's your select query. Okay. Then you got your update query. Let's say we wanted to update the postcode, right? Postcode for Mohsin should be here. Well, the postcode for Murtaza Hassan should be 3,000. Okay. What we do? So first we get the query. We go here where first name is Murtaza. We execute. Well, let me just try this. Where last? I don't know why the first name's not working. Where last name equals here Hassan. Okay. We get Hassan here. Just like here, if we add filters, let me see. How do you add filters here? Insert.
I normally do the
Filters, right?
Yeah.
We have
the slices. View.
view
Then data.
data
Filters.
filters. All right.
Yeah.
You add filters, right? Here we want to add filter. What you call it? We want to see only the last name Hassan. All right.
Yep.
So this is how we're doing it. Except we're writing SQL query to do it. Understand it? All right. So that's pretty easy there. All right. So basically, what we want to do, we want to update. We want to update the postcode here to 3,000. All right. So what we do, the next part is the update. Okay. So the update, we go here, update. From we take out the from, and we want to write here set, and we want to set the postcode. All right, to 3,000. All right. Have, okay. We execute this. One row affected. So let's execute this again, and we see 3,000. You get it? So if we review, you see 3,000 here. Before this was 4,000. See, this is an update. Got it?
Okay.
Making sense?
Making sense.
All right. Then you have your delete. All right. So if you wanted to delete where last name equals Hassan, all right. So what we do here is there's this. What we do here is we have this here, and we take this query here, and instead of from, we just use the word delete. Okay. And we we run this here and we execute this. All right.
Okay.
And then one row affected, and then now Murtaza Hassan is deleted from the database. All right. So if
Can we undo that?
no, we can't undo that. Okay, unless you do a transact SQL, but I won't go too much into that. Just understand the select.
Like the control Z which we do in Excel or something, control Z, it comes back. If we do control Z, will it come back?
No, it won't done that. If you run the delete, it deletes it.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Okay.
Okay. And then the last one is the insert. Okay, so the insert. All right. So what you do? Let's just say we wanted to insert this last record. So we take out this filter. Just select all. We want to insert Donald Trump. Okay. So what we do is we right click, and we go to insert, and we go new query. Okay. And then we have this here, insert into customer table, column first name, last name, phone, address, and postcode. All right. So now we're trying to insert by code. So the first name. All right. The first name is Donald. All right. So we have Donald here. We have Trump. We have Trump here. We have phone. We have phone here. Actually, and then we have address.
Okay.
We added the address here. And last thing is the postcode. We'll add the postcode here. This doesn't need to be within quotes because this is an integer. Okay, so you just add it like that. All right, let's execute this. One row affected. All right, so let's right click and look at this. Now we have Donald Trump inserted. So that's basically insert, update, select, delete. Got it? Any questions?
But the first one, the customer ID number 1, is still the IDs won't change. IDs won't update automatically.
IDs will automatically get incremented. You can see here in the insert, I didn't specify insert customer ID.
It will
But
not initiate from 1 again. It will the one which is deleted is deleted. The
well,
number goes.
if I delete, say 3, right? Let's just delete this. All right, let's delete it. All right, delete it. Okay. Let's insert again. Let's insert Donald Trump again. All right.
Okay.
Execute. All right. So let's refresh this. So let's go here. Now it's 4. Okay, because 3 was deleted. So it picked up from 3 and it created the new ID 4.
All right.
Cool. Any other questions?
Let's do it again. Let's delete Mohsin now.
Delete Mohsin.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go here and delete Mohsin. So let's go here. First thing you want to do is before you delete, you got to see if your what you call it. If we got to select Mohsin first, see if he exists. All right. So I don't know why I'm not able to query your details.
Spelling something.
I don't know
Case
why.
sensitive or something.
Phone. Okay. All right. I don't know why it's not querying you. Able to get your data. I'm having issues. It's weird. I don't know why I'm not able to query your record. Let me see customer ID. We can do customer ID, right? Where customer ID equals here 2. All right, we got customer ID 2. Okay. All right, Mohsin. Okay. So now what we do, you want to delete this, yeah? Copy. We paste that here. Take out the from, and we'll delete Mohsin.
Okay.
We run this. we delete it, we execute, now delete it, right? So now if we refresh, so if we just go back here, edit, more scenes deleted.
Okay.
Any other questions?
How do you add it again?
So you can add directly through here, or if you want to add via code, you just go here and you go right click here, you go script, insert, let this create the script for you, and what you got to do is you just got to replace this here. More scene, all right. Just leave the commas here, and you just take out this part here.
Okay.
More scene, phone here. You can see here, this is related to this. This is related to this. This is related to this, and this is related to this, and this is related to this. Okay, so if we go here, we add more scene.
Both other way. One is from here.
When you do queries, like when you run the database, when you run a website, then yeah, it you need code to insert the data, right? So this is where the SQL query inserts, right? So I inserted here, and I inserted the address here, and there we have it here. Now, if I was to take out this postcode, right? What do you think it will do? Execute? It would say, well, that doesn't match. There's no postcode here. You mentioned postcode here, but you're not adding it here, so you got to add it here as well. So we add the postcode. Another parameter. We add a postcode. We go here 2000. We execute, and it's inserted. Okay. So we right click, we select, and we got Morse in there. Any other questions?
How do we bring the data without going through that steps? Easy way. Is there an easy way as well? Rather than going into the steps and putting the names alphabetically,
What do you mean?
the way you were doing it before.
Inserting.
Inserting it.
This is the way to insert. So if you like, what you call it, so what you do in a text, what if this is a website? What will be happen that you can pass this Morse in value as a parameter. So say your registration form, if you have a registration form and your first name is Morse in Ali, you can pass it as a parameter, and you can create that in the stored procedure here, right? So for example, let's create the stored procedure, right? Let's run this stored procedure, all right? And let's close that here. We got this query here, all right? Insert Morse in. Insert into customers here. So we just create the store procedure here. All right. Store procedure is nothing but a wrapper of SQL query. All right. Now, instead of adding Morse in directly, what we want to do is we want to specify this as the parameter. So just copy that here. So we'll say here that, what you call it, first name, invarchar 50. All right. I just got that from here, invarchar 50. We create another parameter here called last name. So right here at last name and varchar 50. Then we have here phone. We got here at phone in varchar 20. All right, we can call this anything, by the way. We can call this parameter value. We can call this Bob the Builder if you want, and we can call this Bob if you want, right? You can call it anything, right? But it has to be meaningful. Obviously, that's why this.
I need to remember.
Yeah. So we have address in varchar 400, and we have the postcode. We have here, what is it? As we have here at postcode, we have here postcode, and we have int. Okay, so that's what we have here.
Yep.
And then what we do here is pass we pass the parameter here, first name, we pass here last name,
Okay.
we pass here phone, we pass here address, right? And we pass here postcode. All right, let's see. Let's execute this. We're gonna create the store procedure name. We'll just call this DBO. This is the schema, and then we go here. We'll just give it a name, USP. What you call it? Insert or add customers. All right, and we can specify the author here if you want, and all those other details. But let's just create this for now. Let's execute. This stored procedure is created. Okay, so if you right click on stored procedure, we've got this one added here. Okay, so
Great.
what will happen is now we can execute this stored procedure. All right, so we specified the 4 parameters: first name, last name, address, postcode. Okay, so what we do here now, I just want to show you the data here. In here we have Donald Trump, we have Morsin. Right, let's add Mutaza by what you call it. Let's add Mutaza here. Okay, so we'll create a new query. All right, we'll execute this stored procedure. We'll add the parameters. The first parameter is Mutaza. Next parameter here, Hassan. Next parameter here, 112. We add the telephone details. Uh, 0, and then we'll add the postcode. No, what was it? First name, last name, phone, address. So we'll
Yeah.
just say here 20 George Street. All right, and then we add the postcode here, 2000, and if we execute this, we see it's executed, right? And then if you refresh this, just close this and refresh this, we can see Mutaza has been added. All right,
Okay.
making sense? All right, and then what you do, if you create a website, then these parameters will be passed, right? This will be the text box value first name, text box value last name, text box value phone, text box value address, and the text box value postcode. Any other questions? All right, cool. So that's SQL for you. Thanks.